The Avengers radio series, a cultural phenomenon in South Africa back in the 1970s. South Africa was a country with no national television service. It wasn't until 1976 that the country would get its first taste of television broadcasts. But before that, radio was the primary medium of entertainment and information for the masses. This was the context when The Avengers, a British spy FI series, made its debut on South African radio and became a cultural phenomenon. The Avengers was a British television series that originally aired from 1961 to 1969. The show revolved around the adventures of John Steed, a suave and sophisticated secret agent, and his various female associates. The series was a unique blend of traditional spy thriller elements with science fiction and fantasy, which set it apart from other shows of its time. While the series was hugely popular in the UK and had also made a significant impact in the American markets, being one of the rare British series given a network transmission slot, it was virtually unknown in South Africa. This was primarily due to the lack of a national television service in the country until 1976. However, as a film series, The Avengers was able to gain some exposure in South Africa through film rentals. But it was the launch of the radio series that truly brought The Avengers to the masses in South Africa. Come and listen at www.myclassicradio.net.
Now then, Bob Elliott and Ray Goulding present the CBS Radio Network. Poor Pierre there, the orchestra leader, had a tough time getting the music off the ground today.
What happened to him anyway? Hasn't been up to snuff the last few days.
Did your supply of snuff come in? Or you didn't mean that?
No, I didn't mean that. He's well supplied with that. But his downbeats have been a little bit delayed somehow.
Well, this is another week.
And you're playing in the snow most of the
time.
day.
Telephone here. Lady listens to us up in Gilman, Wisconsin, Route 1.
I know the place.
And her name is, can you make that out? Is that Mrs. Leala? What is it?
No, I can't. I'm sorry.
I wish I could, but it goes... It was sent to the folks there at WCCO in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
It says, who makes with the noise that drives gloom away, the nonsense that lightens the end of day, that brings a smile to tired lips and fills the ears with jolly quips? Those zany guys on CCO, meaning WCCO. The ones who make the tiredness go. Yes, I can tell you just any day, those wonderful guys. Amos and Andy.
I have a letter here from a lady in California who says, how can you day after day dare to put on two guys?
Well, don't read those.
I shouldn't have read that.
Read the nice ones that I read.
Well, I thought we might as well give both sides a chance.
Well, you have something very nice to say.
I want to thank very sincerely the nation's radio editors for the award that we were given by TV and Radio Daily last week, a week ago today, and I want to thank them very, very much for it as the best comedy radio show of the year. Our audience reactions.
Sure, that was really augmented, but that was a record. Now let's ask the audience what you think of the Critics Award, giving Bob and Ray the best radio comedy show award. What do you think of it, audience?
Then we ought to thank Newsweek magazine for the picture and the little story this week. And I think that would take care of most of the thanks, huh?
Yes, so for now, should we have a commercial or go right into...
I think he wants to leave early, so...
All right, I'll come in here. Our traveling science correspondent, the good Spencer Markle, has some news for us from the Civilian Space Agency Space House, located in Leesville, Virginia. Come in here, please. Spencer Markle.
Alongside me is Grover Galt, director of the Civilian Agency Space House, and the noises you hear in the background are the sounds of the future. Right, Mr. Galt?
Well, not exactly, Mr. Markle.
Well, you told me before we went on the air that...
Well, I frequently change my mind after a failure or two around here.
At any rate, sir, the project that's being worked on now is called Operation Split Trip.
That's at least correct.
That is right. Now, we're busy assembling a space platform here in the space house.
Is that the platform over there, Mr. Galt?
No, that's the floor of the space house.
I see. Now, what's the idea behind Operation Spilt Milk, Mr. Galt?
We started Operation Split Trip several weeks ago when the telescope boys discovered that there might be an atmosphere on the planet Venus after all.
Yes, I read about it.
Well, after a lot of checking around, we also discovered that Venus is quite a distance away from the planet Earth, don't you see?
Plenty fine.
Yes. Well, now the idea of Operation Split Trip is to set up a space platform about halfway between the planet Earth, on which you find yourself standing, Mr. Markle,
Yes?
and the planet Venus, so the tired astronaut can stop and take a rest.
Somewhat the same idea as our own roadside inn.
What?
I mean, stopping off to eat on a long trip. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Well, yes, but this is infinitely more scientific. Gee whiz, roadside inn. Quite a bit different.
Well, if it wasn't more scientific, I suppose you could shoot a roadside inn right into space, and that would be that.
Well, we could, yes.
The roadside inn would burn from the friction of it all anyway.
That's correct. So we have to build something that would be on the order of a roadside inn, and yet aerodynamically suited to the job.
Well, I think it's a good idea, Mr. Galt. I get tired and hungry on a long trip, and I always look forward to stopping off to eat and rest a little before I go on.
Well, there's the first side of the space platform being put up over there now, Mr. Markle.
Where?
Over at the south end of the space house.
Oh, I see. That's very good, Mr. Galt. You've got the neon sign installed already. Very impressive name, too. Halfway House. I'll tell my friends about it.
Thank you, Mr. Markle.
And thank you, Mr. Galt. What I've seen here today is perhaps the start of something very absorbing, something we'll all be talking about for some time to come. Thank you for letting us come into your space house. And now back to our studio. And now it's time for The Green Pickerel, the story of Paul Chevalier, 17th century hero. As usual, France was in a state of upheaval when Chevalier, fop, charlatan, or whatever he was, heeded the call of his people.
Chevalier, I beg of you, do not make this journey. It is a fool's errand.
Freedom, Raoul Martignac, is not to be held so lightly that it should not weigh heavily on one's mind. No, Raoul Martignac, I must go to the tavern of the two intertwining roads to see what I can learn.
The tavern is filled with the minister's secret police. No place for the green pickerel. It will mean your neck, your codpole.
The guillotine holds no fears for me, Raoul Martignac. It has already been used on me several times. I must go now. Goodbye, Raoul Martignac.
Good fortune, magnificent fool.
Monsieur, you do not drink your wine. A slight indisposition, perhaps?
What name do you go by, girl of the bar?
I am the famous Marie. Everyone knows me. I will sit in your lap, no?
Marie, a lovely name. And your face, it is the face of justice. Am I not correct in this, Marie?
I do not understand, monsieur. You speak in riddles.
And it is dangerous to speak in riddles in a tavern filled with the minister's secret police, no?
Monsieur, I have much to do.
A moment, Marie. You say you have much to do. I must ask you, the much you have to do, is it in the name of the people?
I cannot say, monsieur. I do not even know who you are. It is dangerous to speak with strangers.
I am no stranger, Marie.
Who are you, monsieur?
You have but to feel the collar of my shirt to know who I am.
Why, it's a silken shirt. Then you must be...
Quiet, Mary. We have enemies here. Yes, I am Paul Chevalier, the Green Pickerel, at your service. I need information, Mary. Do we understand one another?
Perfectly, monsieur. Attention! Attention, Minister Secret Police! This fop seated here is none other than Paul Chevalier, the Green Pickerel.
Come on, let's get him. You will pay for this, Mary.
What the essence?
Come on, Minister Secret Police. Take me if you can. Number 21. 19 to 1, my fallen friend.
Hey, get on the stairs. After him. I want to take the first man down the stairs, or he'll follow the rest of us.
Oh, you tavern. Have you seen him?
Yes, a green pickerel. He seemed restless, so I took him yonder to graze.
Fool!
The green pickerel. Fop, charlatan, or fighter for liberty.
Baldy. I was just going through some of the mail.
Yeah?
There's a letter I think I'd like to read, if I may have your CTS microphone, please.
Seems to be letter answering day. We had a couple.
Dear sir, it says, as the outraged president of the 12,000 member Let's Give What We Want to a Fair Break Club, I can no longer hold my peace, but must take pen in hand to inform you of my vast personal grief at this latest insult to our hero. To it, the humiliation and frustration of Mr. Webster.
You're getting all red. You're getting all red-faced.
Yes, I am. In his latest attempt to complete a performance at your studio room.
Quiet, calm down.
I have restrained an angry membership. And because of the poster.
No, you're getting blurred. It's getting blurred now. We can't understand it. A little slower.
The point is that...
The point is you're angry and they are too, huh?
At the Pride of West Pittsburgh. He's pretty upset at the way of treating me, and I would like once, this week, or it's too late now, maybe next week, to sit down at the huge studio organ and play banter.
Play jealousy, I know.
They know what I'm saying, White Brown.
Well, it's just been unfortunate you never completed the selection. We do have about 30 seconds now if you could play it fast.
I can't play it in 30 seconds. It'll be the same thing again, just the introduction.
Well, maybe we'll try to work it in on Monday and you can play the whole thing. Will that make you feel happy with
just
this?
Just remember, there are 12,000 people who will march on this studio.
I only see one
just
name.
Just remember that and don't forget it if you're smart. No
Well,
problem.
wait.
I really mean it.
That sounds very much like a threat, but we won't take it that way.
Whatever you want.
You going back to the... Going back to the hotel now?
Right, yes.
Okay. Well, have a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
Come in a little bit more calm on Monday, will you?
Okay, Bob.
Okay. And speaking of Monday, that's when we'll be back next, but we'll be back with a weekend suggestion in just 10 seconds.
Won't you think of us this weekend? Join us on Monday again. Until then, this is Ray Goulding.